Hello and welcome back everyone to the Powder Toy, and today I have been working on a beautiful little space station. I want to kind of show you what I have working right now, and maybe we'll add a little bit more. So we got our guy, we'll call him Bob for now. He's got his laptop, he's got his treadmill, and he's got a toilet, so he's pretty set up. This station does have a water reclamation system though, which is what I've been working on. Basically, when Bob uses the bathroom, the water is pulled into the toilet through suction, brought into this chamber where electrolysis will break it into hydrogen and oxygen. The oxygen will be put into the air for him to breathe, and the hydrogen will be stored in this canister and fed into this engine, which is the little thruster to keep us moving and from falling out of orbit. I did design this with walls made out of titanium with colloids for protection from little projectiles in space, and we also have a layer of insulation to make sure that Bob does not, well, melt or freeze. All very good stuff, but I haven't actually tried running it yet, so we're going to see what happens when I stick a battery on this, and let's see what happens. Actually, I do see oxygen molecules already going where I want them to, kind of. The only issue is that there's a lot of pressure in here, and the water is actually kind of getting pulled over here, which I don't want. I don't want the water to just get stuck next to the oxygen thingy. It needs to actually touch our iron here in order to get converted. So I'm gonna just pull this pipe, and I'm gonna pull it this way and try to fix this. Oh wait, no, first I gotta open the end of the pipe so it does the direction, and then I have to do this. All right, that should be good, I think. I do have a piece of broken iron because the gold keeps the iron from eroding, but those two little corners weren't touching it. I think this is good though. I just need to add more water. So Bob's gonna do his job. He's going to fill the toilet with beautiful water, and let's see if this works. Actually, it's working really well, except for the fact that electricity is somehow jumping through this corner and going through the entire ship, which is really bad. Let's fix that, because that's gonna cause a mess. There's definitely some pressure being created by this system, because you can see the colloids are actually hardening up over here. But that's good. That means they're responding and they are protecting Bob. We also have a gas leak. I don't know where, but that's bad. It's probably this canister, it looks like, is leaking hydrogen. Why? Where are we leaking hydrogen? Hopefully we aren't leaking hydrogen into the living quarters. That would be really bad. Yeah, we got a little hydrogen just leaking. Considering it is explosive, that's not something we really want to happen. Do I have to make the walls of this canister thicker? Maybe? I guess I will, because I don't want Bob to die. I don't have much other choice. Okay. There's no way it should be able to escape that. We still have this problem with the water kind of conglomerating over here. Not a huge fan of that. I might have to like put a void or something so that can't happen. Maybe you know what? I'm stupid. Let's just make this more effective. We'll literally make the reaction occur directly next to the spot where we need it to go. Work smarter, not harder. Here we go. Yeah, beat that. Beautiful. Okay, that was a good move. I like that. Instead of trying to get the water to go where we want, just bring the spark to the water. All right, so if we continue doing this, we should be able to fill. Huh? Wait, why is there brick here. What's going on? Why is the water not going into the... Okay, that's fine. That's fine. There's just some pressure shenanigans going on. But as you can see, we are actually successfully creating a good amount of oxygen. And a good amount of hydrogen as well, which is no longer leaking. And it is actually being burned over here. Small amounts. I mean, it doesn't create like a ton of thrust, but it's not zero either. We are actually... And we can use the heat that this lets off to actually generate some power as well. Or just to warm. Just to warm the station if we wanted to. The entire station is a little toasty right now, but the interior is still cool because of the insulation. Oh no, what's going on? Oh no, the oxygen is reacting with the iron. I forgot that's a thing. The oxygen is reacting with the iron and forming rust. It's rusting out all of the equipment. Oh man, I should not have made this stuff out of... What's going on in here as well? Oh, it's also degrading Bob over time, turning him into sawdust. Oh god. I mean, we do have a breathable atmosphere, but at what cost? At what cost? Okay, I may have to tweak the design a little bit, but I want to test a few other things because obviously this is built to shield Bob from anything that could happen. Like for example, neutrons, the titanium should just deflect them, right? There is no danger to Bob of neutron bombardment. Good. Photons? I mean, there's a little bit of damage to the colloids. A little bit of damage to the colloids. I didn't know that colloids turned into brick when they were hit by... That's very interesting. That's new. Well, not new, but I did not know it. But as you can see, the damage and the heat is contained within these cells. Bob is unaffected. You could literally slam the entire ship with all of the light you want, all the radiation you want, and he'll be fine. The only thing is protons, because they just pass through every... Well, actually, the insulation does bounce it a little bit. The insulation actually helps a lot. Like, we go from potentially catastrophic to slightly annoying. It really does deflect a lot. So yeah, this isn't a bad design, the walls and stuff. This part, like the important stuff, is very contained. It's not exposed because this system, if it opened up, could be very bad, obviously. Lots of hydrogen, lots of oxygen. Let's see if something hit it that was a little bit more aggressive, though. Let's say, actually, I wonder what a fire would do. Like, a proper fire won't do anything on the outside, but one thing that this is kind of weak to is if there's a fire indoors, because insulation does burn. This is something that, like, I probably should have a layer of ceramic or even another layer of titanium above the insulation. It would just take a long time to do, because the insulation will burn and the insulation will be stripped off, not only creating a weak spot for, you know, the forces of space, but, you know, the entire interior is going to burn and the oxygen is going to help it burn, and it's just going to be a very bad time. There's going to be a lot of smoke. It's going to catch very quickly, and actually Bob isn't on fire, which is good. I thought it was going to set Bob on fire. It did not set Bob on fire. Bob is probably very happy about that fact, but all of the insulation on the ship has basically just burned off. And now, if he got hit by, say, a proton blast, I think the situation's going to be very... Yeah, the situation's very different. Way more exposure. Way more exposure to it. Still didn't kill Bob, though. He's probably got, like, 72 different kinds of cancer, but he's not dead. I mean, what can you say? All right, let's try some explosives now. Let's use a basic bomb to see. Just like a quick moving particle falling out of space, you know, good stuff. Oh, I forgot there's no gravity, so I'm gonna have to like, wee. Okay, so you can see the problem. You can see the problem right away. It set it on fire. It didn't actually destroy. It didn't break containment, and you know we didn't get sucked out into the void. So that's good. But it did set. Oh. Boop. It did burn the insulation off. Wow, that literally 1 pixel separating him from the void of space there. 1 pixel. That's pretty rough. But not dead. Not dead. Let's see what happens if I create like extreme negative vacuum outside of it. Because of the colloids, it shouldn't care. Yeah. Well, it broke a few things on the outside, but nothing on the inside. I like that the battery, the circuit got broken, and so it just started sparking the entire thing. But like even if I do this here and said it's like negative 250 pressure, the main part of the ship does not care. The pressure is stable. It's stable. Everything looks great. Over here though, where we start to get towards these exposed pipes and stuff, yeah, we need to work on that, especially because there's some brick there that I haven't replaced with titanium properly. If we continue to put it through the gauntlet of shifting pressures, it's still doing really well. Not gonna lie. Although Bob's getting kind of ripped apart. I guess it let a little bit of the pressure. It's through here. It's going through and around through this gap, I bet. Let's redo this and look on pressure display how this looks. You can see actually it does an incredible job of not allowing the extreme pressures, except for here. Look at that. That is our weak spot. The system that's literally required to keep them alive is the weak spot. And that's where we get all of this leakage. And then the high pressure gets in, and he is kind of doomed now. I mean, it's still not nearly as bad as it could be. It's not nearly as bad as it could be, but it's pretty bad. I'll just let that out. I almost wonder if we just removed this, if I just opened this up so it could let the pressure out, if it would be safer. Yeah, it looks like it because it doesn't create like that super high pressure feedback zone over there. Interesting. Very interesting. But Bob is able to survive the extremes of outer space using his incredible space station. The combination of colloids and titanium do an incredible job at keeping him from getting ripped apart to shreds. And I'm gonna keep working on this. I'm gonna make this a little bit cooler. There are more systems I want to add to this space station, and there's a lot of space left on the map for me to build. You know what that means? It means we're gonna make it even bigger and better. Forever. Okay, that's pretty extreme. Well, no, really? Wow, that was super extreme, but still, the colloids just do such a good job. Look at that quality. Absolute quality. Nothing can kill Bob. No amount of pressure can stop him. However, Thermite, on the other hand, might be able to stop him. Actually, where's my fancy display? There it is. The Thermite did not do as much damage as I thought. It hasn't breached. There is once again like 1 pixel preventing him from getting spaced. We're surrounded by Thermite. Wow, still. I like how the pressure is keeping it away. This is very funny. This is very funny. It doesn't want to get close because when it gets close, the pressure pushes it back. Which isn't the most realistic because there's no air in space, so it would really just go. I wonder if I can turn that air simulation mode. I can turn pressure off, but then nothing will have pressure, and I feel like that's even worse. What if I fill it with thermite? Ah, then we get a big boom. Bob, no! And then you can see it getting sucked out into space. Yeah, next time we'll make the outside super low pressure. I bet I could simulate that just by having like a bunch of giant fans pulling outward in every direction. There's probably a better way to do it too. But I feel like this would do it, probably. Yeah, now there's a super low pressure zone. And so, realistically then, if we have our... We're just going to fill this up with oxygen really quickly so that I can do a demonstration. If we have a bunch of gas inside and now we get a leak, it's going to vent out of space because there's low pressure. Incredible. Also, you don't want too much oxygen because, yeah, makes it a little dangerous. I like how Bob just became smoke and then got thrown out the leak. Just pulled through. Terrible. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. How could I do this to Bob? Alright guys, thank you all for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I will see you all next time. Until then, maybe we should fill it with fireworks. I like how I keep just coming up with new stupid things to do every 5 seconds. What if Bob was celebrating the new year or the 4th of July inside of his space capsule? The answer is, it would be pretty self-contained actually. The titanium colloid walls are doing a great job of containing the damage. I guess if you were to close the blast door there, that you could potentially save part of the ship. I like how the toilet is just sending the rubble into the reaction chamber. Excellent. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. No, it's very self-contained. It's fine. I thought it would be a little bit more kablooey, but we didn't get more kablooey. All right, one sec. Let me add more fireworks. When in doubt, make it more extreme. I mean, there's got to be a point at which we hit like critical mass of fireworks going off, and it just cannot survive it any further. I'm incredibly impressed by how long this is holding out. At some point, one of these walls are gonna melt, though. Even the laptop's melting. Probably because it's doing my simulations. Oh, there it goes. Ah, at long last. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed. No more special content. I'll see you all next time.